Okay peeps, it is day 116 since my accident and post-concussion syndrome recovery journey that I'm on. It's Wednesday the 27th of June and it's been a few weeks since I did a wee update for you, so I'm going to try and make this as brief as possible. But you know what I'm like, so let's jump in. So the last time I did a video I shared with you the news that I've been referred to the brain injury clinic, and sadly I'm still waiting on that appointment because my sense of time, perception of time, isn't the best. So last week people were saying to me, like friends, family quite close to me, saying, you know, what's happened with that appointment? Have you got it yet? Do you have a date yet? And you should you should chase it up. But to me it just felt like it had been a couple of weeks. So long story short, the letter that my doctor sent at that point last week was a month ago since then. It didn't arrive in the post. So for that whole month I kind of thought that I was just waiting on this appointment coming through, but sadly it's, nothing had actually, I wasn't even in the system for trying to get an appointment. And so it just strikes me as really strange in this day and age of modern technology. Why is the NHS still relying on actual pieces of paper going through the post for me to get an appointment? It's, to me, it's just baffling. It's ludicrous. But the consultant that I think will be dealing with me now has another letter that was sent, and apparently is treating it as urgent, so hopefully I shall be getting word on an appointment very soon. So to give you a wee update on how my symptoms are progressing, I kind of feel as though in the last few weeks that things have kind of, what's the phrase I'm looking for, ground to a halt. And it's not to say that I'm not making progress, it's just that it feels as though, to me, like it's just not happening. So it could be that I am actually making progress, but because it's very slow, that I just don't see it. But in terms of things that I've noticed with my recovery since the last time I was at the doctor, so I was there 2 weeks ago yesterday, and then I was there a month before that, because he sees me monthly now. And one thing I've noticed since the appointment a couple of weeks ago is that my right foot, sometimes when I'm walking, it's dragging along the ground. And even although I can tell myself, lift your leg higher, think about where you're placing your foot, it doesn't make any difference. It's like, to me, there's a disconnect between what I want to do, what I want my legs to do, and what is actually happening. So when I was at the doctor's recently, he did some resistance tests that he did the month before as well, and one of them is where my leg, so I'm lying flat on my back with my knees bent, and so he'll do one leg at a time, so it's like he's putting a pressure underneath my knee, and I have to resist and hold it down, and what's happening is just not much. So he'd asked me, is it painful? Like, is that the reason that I can't do it? And it's not that I'm feeling pain, it's just that my mind is willing it to happen and it's just not happening, which might be then why when I'm walking, particularly downhill, why my legs are like buckling at the knees. So I would say definitely my walking balance coordination isn't getting any better. So with what I've been experiencing, particularly with my right foot, it's getting worse. Another thing that has been happening since the end of last week is my I'm feeling twitches in my muscles. So it's not like I'm having to do anything particular, it's just happening. So the other day I was in the bath and then my toes, I looked at them and they were just like doing this just of their own accord. I couldn't control it. I could try and think, right, okay, stop that, stay still, and they're just like sitting, like doing their own crazy thing. And I know there's probably an explanation. It's, I'm no expert, but I guess it's something is not right with my central nervous system. So whether it means that these twitches that I'm feeling, that things are, maybe the nerves are healing, I don't know. So I'm really, really keen just to get into the brain injury clinic as soon as possible and get started on whatever treatment is available. I don't even know what treatment I'm going to get, but for all the symptoms that I have, if they can help with my mobility, like that. I can cope with like memory loss, short-term memory loss, because I get frustrated. So in the moment I'm like, okay, so I don't know what I was going to say there, and it happens all the time, or there's tons of stuff goes on, but I'm just like, okay, so I can deal with this. And for when I'm having, headaches, and I'm overcome with sort of sensory overload when I'm around too many people and things just aggravate my brain, I can deal with that. I can use coping strategies. I can remove myself from the situation. But when it's my mobility, when I'm walking and it's taken me 3 to 4 times longer to get anywhere, and my legs aren't doing what I want them to do, then we're 3.5, almost 4 months down the line now, and there's no sign of this getting better. So I'm just desperate really for this appointment to come through. So fingers crossed by the next update, and I will try and keep you a bit more updated than every 3 weeks, but memory loss and intentions and all that, I can have all these great intentions, but making things happen and is kind of tricky as well. But that's a whole other subject. But that is kind of where I'm at with my update. I'm going to pop a wee link into the blog as well, because I've got heaps of other things to tell you about that have happened over the past few weeks. But it's sometimes easier if you just read it yourself, and then you'll not get too bored of this face, and you'll be like, oh, yawn, she's going on for ages. But if I can just leave you guys with one message to my warriors: if you have post-concussion syndrome as well, then I would say please, please, please just stand up for yourself. And if people are telling you, if your friends and family are saying, what's happened with that appointment, just chase it up. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. I know that sometimes actually picking up the phone can be difficult because you might have memory issues, but write down what you want to say before the call, and then, just if you're struggling for words or your memory is tripping you up, then just explain what's going on. And generally I think you'll find that most people will be really accommodating and really understanding. Alright guys, thank you for watching. As always, thank you so much for your support. I couldn't be getting through this without you guys. I'm just so grateful that I've got so much support around me, and I shall I'll catch you later. Right, catch you later guys.